up here? Maybe not. We need a new podium, don't we? This thing's too little. Put it in the budget, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how these things work, but
I know we called this, but we do have about half an hour window, so I'm sorry.
you're sorry it's only a half hour?
We're sorry, it's maybe 12 minutes.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for being here again. This morning, what I want to chat with you about is jobs for young people this summer. And then, of course, I'll take your questions as usual. So thank you for being here. I want to visit with you this morning about several job opportunities for young people this summer. Now is the time to begin thinking about a summer job if you're a young person. And there are 4 different opportunities that I want to chat with you about. One is STL Youth Jobs. This is a program that's been around for several years now, very successful. It's funded by both corporate and City of St. Louis funds, and it's for young people 16 to 24. They usually work around 20 hours a week, beginning on June the 3rd. Pay is around $9 an hour. Young folks who also, though, receive job readiness training, financial literacy training, mentoring, coaching, and ongoing support. This is really an excellent opportunity for a first job. Last year, STL Youth Jobs employed 739 young people in the summer. This year, we're hoping for 1,000 people. The city has increased our funding. 3 years ago, we funded it at $275,000. Last year, we funded it at about $450,000. And this summer, we're funding at about $750,000. This gives you an idea how important we think summer jobs are. STL Youth Jobs also receives about $1.5 million in corporate funding, companies and foundations who also support this effort to hire young people in the summer. This goal of 1,000 young people is an ambitious, but we think doable goal. You can apply online at stlyouthjobs.org, and we have some flyers here for you afterwards if you want more details about how to apply. The importance of a job, the importance of working, really can't be overstated. A summer job is an opportunity to learn workplace skills, financial literacy, and get on the path to a career. We can't take for granted that everyone has those skills. We all had to learn it. We all had to learn how to show up for work on time, how to act at work. And these young folks need to learn that as well. Knowing and feeling the pride in a job well done, or working and having your own money in your pocket, can be transformative for many young people. The mayor's office this summer is hiring a young person through STL Youth Jobs. We hope for the viewers out there who own companies or are in the hiring mode, we hope that you will also hire someone, 1, 2, 3 people through STL Youth Jobs. It could be office work, it could be light manufacturing, it can be assembly, healthcare, technology. These are all jobs and skills that expand the horizons for young people. So please consider this opportunity, hire a young person this summer through STL Youth Jobs. STL Youth Jobs is looking for 150 employers to sign up this summer. They have a number of those now, but there certainly are still opportunities for your company to sign up to hire a young person. Second topic I want to talk about. In addition to STL Youth Jobs, there is SLATE. And SLATE, the St. Louis Agency on Training and Employment, has, of course, summer jobs, seasonal jobs, and permanent jobs. Employ St. Louis Summer is for programs that connected last year 356 young people to jobs. This year, they hope to connect 440 young people to jobs. The largest Employ St. Louis program is funded through the state. It's called Summer Job League. And last year, 253 young people participated in this program. This year, they expect it to be 300. Young folks that are interested in careers in construction, SLATE hosts a program called Youth Build. This is really an excellent program. It gives young people the opportunity to engage in different kinds of construction jobs to see what is it that they might really like to go into. We also, through Slate, offer some summer job opportunities and outreach opportunities specifically for youth living in Clinton Peabody Housing Complex. And so for all these opportunities through Slate, of course, you can visit stlworks.com or call 589-8000, or we have a flyer here for you that can remind you of that. The third item I want to talk about this morning is city employment. We need 100 people. The city needs 100 people, seasonal workers, this summer to cut grass, work in our parks, work on vacant lots, and help to beautify our city. This work starts around the 1st of April and lasts through October. So it may not be for high school or folks that are in school full-time, but there are many young people out there who need jobs and whose opportunity it is to get on with the city through a seasonal job. The pay starts at around $13 an hour. These jobs, seasonal jobs, are also available to anyone in the region, not just to city residents. So although there's no guarantee of these jobs, these seasonal spots can become full-time positions. It's a good way to get started and help beautify our parks and cut grass in our lots. We need 100 folks. We've got some new lawnmowers this year. They're bigger than lawnmowers, but we've got new equipment this year, and we really are interested in having all of these folks apply soon. This Saturday at Wohl Community Center, which is at 1515 North Kings Highway, there'll be a job fair. The personnel department will be there this Saturday, so if you want a very easy way to get your application in is to show up between 9 and 3 this Saturday at Wohl. And lastly, last item, and I've talked about this before, but you know we have the Police Cadet Program. And the Police Cadet Program is for young people 18 and up, usually 18 to 20. The Police Cadet Program is a way to work 15 to 20 hours a week. At the police department, you may have seen some of our cadets that were working the dog parade in Soulard a week or so ago. And they work in all different areas. It's a way for them to get exposure. They may think they're 18, they may think, hey, I'd like to be a police officer, but this is a great way for them to work part-time through our cadet program, go to school, and then when they're 21 and they can actually go into the police academy, they have a very good idea of what the position is about. So that's 4 opportunities for jobs. Everybody needs good workers these days, and so I hope we're able to get a lot of people out there applying for these jobs. And with that, thank you.
On the first program, just to clarify.
STL Youth Jobs.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
the one where you're seeking, there's both city involvement financially and corporate involvement. How does that work basically? Does the company get reimbursed by the city or
How it works is the company makes a contribution to STL Youth Jobs. STL Youth Jobs pays the young person and provides the other services, the wraparound services, and the company gets the employee for the summer.
okay, so where's the city money come in then?
City money goes to STL Youth Jobs as well. So STL,
To pay for what? That's what I don't understand exactly.
to pay for the young, to pay for the people. I mean, the young people are paid.
No, I understand that, but you're saying that companies are paying them.
Both.
Okay.
Both. I mean, the STL Youth Jobs is funded at around $2.25 million. They hire these young people. That's 1,000 people. They provide financial literacy. They provide training. They provide all kinds of support services. And so, if you are a company, you actually don't have to pay for your young person. We'd like for you to. We think you're getting a good deal out of it, but we're interested in both money and jobs.
And are there income guidelines on that?
There are. There are.
You know what?
We'll give you a flyer.
Mayor, just to underline something you said about the importance of summer jobs, there's a lot of temptations out there to make easy money, sell drugs, or do something criminal. How important is it as far as, getting the city's act together, to get the young people having legitimate
I think having a job is critical. I think having a job as a young person is absolutely the way to develop skills that you'll learn for a lifetime. I mean, it's the process, and I know you have kids, Kevin, and I bet you make all of them work. It is the process of getting up, going to a job, understanding, taking direction, and then earning some money and having your own money in your pocket. I think jobs are so important.
Is it a deterrent to crime, you think the city could see over the summer if these kids have something to do?
I think it's a deterrent to crime. That's looking at this in the short term. I think in the long term, it's all about the opportunity to thrive for all of us. And having a job is key to that.
I'd like to ask you about Better Together. This week there was a town hall meeting. As I'm sure you know, the city of Chesterfield has passed this resolution opposing the city-county merger. Do you foresee yourself reaching out to Chesterfield officials, council members, the mayor, trying to get them on board with this effort?
You know, I'm happy to speak with them about that, but I understand that there's great desire to keep the status quo. I understand that. And I'm hopeful that as they learn more about what's actually being proposed, that they will see that this region will be better economically, better opportunity for all of our residents if we make our big decisions regionally.
Have Chesterfield officials reached out to you?
I don't believe so. Not that I am aware of.
Eric, do you have any concerns about the Better Together plan? If you had to write it yourself, what changes would you make, if any?
I think there's no perfect plan. And I bet every one of you and everybody in the region can find something in that plan that they don't like. But what I think is that we ought to think beyond this year or next year and think about what our region can be like in 5 years or 10 years or 20 years. And that's why I support the Better Together plan.
What are the concerns that you hear from your constituents in the city? Is there any common theme? Are they worried about an enlarged police force? Are they?
Well, the concerns have been widely reported in the media. And
What are you hearing specifically from people in the city that you talk to?
honestly, I hear of a lot of people that understand that the status quo, the way we have been doing things for the last 143 years, is not working for everyone. And so I hear a lot of people talk about how they do understand that we need to have a different form of government. And as I said earlier, everybody can find something wrong in that plan that they don't like because it's a broad plan. But we have, when this is on the ballot in November of 2020, that's the plan. After that period of time, there's a 2-year transition period, and there are literally hundreds, maybe thousands, hundreds of decisions to be made during that 2-year period. So there's a lot, every detail is not in that plan. So I think when you think about whether policing and municipal courts, the muni shuffle, whether or not that's working for people, I think it's not. And I do understand that change is hard, and it makes us all anxious, and we really just want to know how is it going to affect us. But I think that this is a bigger picture, and we ought to look at having a different form of government, having policing that has standards, having policing where everyone's enforcing the same laws, having policing that is not driven by whether or not you need the money to keep your city hall open. But again, I understand that the status quo is really tough not to just keep things the way they are.
Mayor, you're a CPA. Some people are claiming that if we don't do the merger, the city could potentially go bankrupt sometime down the road. Is that just salesmanship, or is that something that the numbers really convince you we're financially?
You know, I don't see that in the immediate future here, but what I do see is both in the city and in the county is the forms of government that we have now with 88 municipality, 78 muni courts, 55 police departments. That's a very expensive way to do business. So if we can come together and have efficiencies of government, can we be more competitive when we are looking to compete with Nashville, St. Louis to Nashville, St. Louis to Kansas City, St. Louis to Louisville, or Dallas, or name the city. Can we be more competitive, and what could we accomplish with the funds that we save running government on not spending as much running government? What could we do with those funds?
So, last question for me, are you annoyed at all at some of the claims that we are facing bankruptcy, or maybe some people are making the city's checkbook look more dire than it is?
You know, annoyed is not the word. I think that what we all should want is the most efficient government that we can get and the best government that we should get. So,
Any updates on MLS? Have you talked to the commissioner recently, and do we have any kind of timeline as to when this announcement is coming?
I have not personally talked with the commissioners. I have talked with the ownership group. I know that everyone is encouraged, but the MLS will set their own timeline.
Do you have any guesses? I mean, if you had to,
I wouldn't guess. I would not guess on that. I think I would not guess on that, because if I were the commissioner sitting there, I really wouldn't want the mayor of a city that I was considering to be trying to outguess me. So no, I won't guess on that.
hoping it's soon?
Of course I'm hoping it's soon. Sure.
Mayor,
Sure.
yesterday Missy Kelly was in Jefferson City testifying against House Bill 258, which would allow the expansion of concealed weapons in places like casinos and baseball stadiums.
Right.
Your thoughts on that legislation, and do you think this is another example of what rural Missouri is not a good idea for an urban core?
As many of you know, I think that the proliferations of guns in our community, particularly in our urban communities, is very detrimental to our public safety. Judge Jimmy Edwards was in Jeff City last week, I think it was, maybe the week before, testifying on a similar bill, opposed to having guns on Metrolink trains and buses. So I'm in opposition to that bill. I think that it makes policing really, really, really difficult, as if it isn't hard enough already, to have even more guns in more places. I also think that to be able to say that we need guns in daycare centers, which is one of the things in this bill, and that we need guns on college campuses, is just not the way I think about that.
Would it make going to a Cardinals game less safe, in your opinion?
I think more guns at, whether it's Cardinals games or in your daycare center, makes us less safe. We saw an incident yesterday in St. Charles where someone shot somebody for parking in a disabled parking spot. Now, if everybody didn't, that probably would not have happened if everybody didn't have a gun in this situation. So yes, that's my personal opinion. I understand that there are other opinions out there that believe that if we're all packing, we're safer. I don't happen to agree with that.
You talked about standard community policing. All of us continue to cover the Hendren case there. Any updates on getting GPS?
Can you come around this way?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Any updates on GPS being added to every police car in the city?
Well, when we get new computers in our cars, those computers will have GPS. We have about 300 computers in cars. 40 of them are newer and have working GPS. So we will have GPS in cars. Getting new computers in our cars is on the track for this year. So.
I want to go back to the youth jobs program. You mentioned that it's about a $9 wage, a little bit to $1 an hour, which I know had been kind of a baseline when the city
Right.
raised its own minimum wage.
We did that last year. I think that STL Youth Jobs makes that determination. And I think $9 an hour when you're 16.
Talk about Slate. Have you heard any updates from Department of Labor investigators into their investigation of Slate?
Department of Labor was there last week. I have not received a report from that. Last week, I think it was last week.
Mayor, last question for me, and it's kind of twofold. Today marks 2 years since the first election. It's then actually voting. How do you move forward when you have an electorate that, do you think they're disengaged, don't care, or what?
Well, I think we see this across the country. I think it was 17.8% of registered voters voted yesterday, day before yesterday. And of course, I'd like to see that turnout be much higher. There are things we can consider that could boost that turnout. If we do better together, and we have a council of 33, those elections will be in August and November. So those elections will be at more standard times when you have more turnout. I think that will be helpful. So.
Very minor question, the Mississippi River Mirrors are having that conference in Washington. We have a report of recovering, but we just wanted to mention, why did you decide not to go to either other?
Because there was an election 2 days ago and a lot of stuff going on. Yeah.
Anything in particular you want?
No, I love MRCTI, as I call it. I love it, and those mayors, and I'm a part of that group, but, you know, they don't arrange the meeting dates around my schedule.